Hey y'all, today and the party yesterday, I'm changing the EVAP Purge valve on a 2019 Golf S, VW Golf S, 1.4 liter engine. This is, in case you didn't know, this is part of the EVAP fuel or EVAP line. It goes This is the actual purge valve right here. And this line I got to replace because I'm getting the EVAP code for air detection, EVAP leak. And then I'm guessing because my hose snapped off, and this is like just some quick tape work I did. My hose snapped off in like 2 places because it gets brittle over time, you know, this little plastic stuff. So I got to replace it anyway. You could probably drive around without the EVAP code for a while. I've done it, but this hose is brittle now, so I need to replace it and hopefully get rid of that EVAP. So there it is right there. But the thing is, this hose line goes underneath the manifold right here. Comes out the other side, right there, and then up and over. So this is part of it. Goes under it, connects down there, then up and over. So what I've previously done is taken off the the air filter pipe that was connected right there. That pipe comes off pretty easily. You know, it's got some latches right there. You just prime apart and lift up at the same time. They were snug in there though, so be careful. Yeah, that pipe was right there. It's right there. And then disconnected one hose from a video I saw. Disconnected this hose. The video I saw said you can loosen up the manifold and snake the new EVAP line underneath if you got patience and time, instead of having to take the whole thing, draining your radiator, taking the whole manifold off to change it. So that's what I'm trying to do today. Just loosen it up and trying to get the old line out and put the new one in. So again, what I did, took the air hose off, disconnected the fuel or the radiator line that went right here. Watch out, there is some stuff that came off. You can see it, you know, kind of puddled down there. Took those off. Disconnect some of these fuel lines from their little locations where they plug in. Same for here. Disconnect that. Had to take off some wires or some plugs. These right here, they were connected to the airflow, and then also some other little, you know, your manifold sensor, and that was also connected right here. So 2 connected right there, and then 1 to the airflow. Disconnect those. Took off this vent right there. It was on like this, leading to the air intake. Took that off. Like I said, move some of these fuel line hoses around. Took off that hose, and so that basically left me with the manifold. It is, put this back on here. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 bolts to take off. I used I use a T30. I did T30, but then the screw head came off and went into the abyss. Can't find it, so I had to use a 27 to take off the last one, and thankfully a size down still worked to take it off. There's no for this middle row right here. It's hard to reach with a short screw. I had to tried using this extended ratchet with the T adapter on the end, but the adapter was too thick to sit in there. So I just got a longer screwdriver like this, and then that worked. You can do these by hand. They're going to be tight though. All right, so I got most everything I need off, I believe. Let's show you the new one. It's the new EVAP Purge valve. Looks like this, and this part goes underneath the manifold. It's probably going to be a pain to do, but in the video I saw, it looked like it could be done. Granted, the video was like a little short story on YouTube, so we're going to see. Apparently, you gotta, once you get the old one out and disconnected, which I did, I still gotta take the old one out. You can take the gauge off, or the valve right here off, and then stick it in through this way on the left hand side, sneak it underneath, snake it, feel around and get it underneath, and then you can connect it that way. But we'll see how that actually works. And we're not actually doing it. It works in theory apparently, but we'll see if that works in person. Oh, one thing to mention is the old line was connected. I don't know what better way to see it. It was connected underneath. There's like a, I think that's it right there. Yeah. There's a, I forget what it's called, but it's an attachment, like the main pipe right there went and attached right there. So I had to stick my flat end and pry it off on the back right here. And same for on this side. It's this one was a little bit more difficult because this was more deep. Back, I think it's right there. Where's my light? Oh well. Yeah, so be aware of that when you're trying to take it out. Make sure it's disconnected from those. All right, so I'm gonna try and snake this thing out and then snake the new one in. Let you know how it goes. I was able to take the old one out. So what I did was took the actual valve that was attached here. That was able to come off. And so where it looked just like this. Over here, you have that plug in right there. Just gotta wrench out. I did it with a flathead. So once that was free, you know, I had the manifold already loose and everything. I was able to pry it out on this right hand side with the with these two sticking out. I was able to break it out, and here's what it looked like. This is the old one. There we go. That's how the orientation of it. Now this old one still looks pretty good. The only issue I had was with the actual valve, or EVAP Purge valve hose. See, it was broken off right there, and I did a little makeshift tape to try to last, but it broke. And then this part was broken too, so this part I at least had to replace. For future references, here's the old valve. I would suggest just removing this valve from that position right here, because it was a little difficult putting this new one in. Now I was able to put the new one in, but again it took some finagling to get it in there, and then I had to basically hold this manifold back with my left hand and then finagle it in there with my right, so I could try and see and look down there where I was going. And then I had to put a string on the end here to help pull it through. Hey guys, so again, with this string, I had like this is probably like a 2.5, maybe 3 foot long string. Probably didn't need that much, maybe like 2 feet, 1 foot. Anyway, make a loop, and I tied it around that hook right there. This is the old one, by the way. So You tie your string onto the end right there. Bring it in from the right if you're facing the engine. And then, first off, make sure your string is underneath this gas pipe, or else it's just going to go over top and not work. So put your string in, feed it underneath your manifold, and then once you're like sneaking this in there from the side right here, you can help guide it by pulling on the string from this side. And it didn't work that great. It wasn't like a miraculous real quick thing. I still had to mess with it for like a good 5-10 minutes, but we got it. You know, just had to keep, because it's gonna, when you're putting this in, it's gonna want to, you know, go at an angle and straighten down, and it gets caught up in the things down there. So use the string to help bring it back up and to the left. Like I said, it doesn't help that much, but it did help a little bit, and I got it. So I got the new one on, connected right there. The way I did that, I just used this big long flathead, guided it over to where I need to be, and then was able to push it onto there, or pry it really. So here's the other end. I got it lined up where it needs to go. I'm gonna put the new valve on it, and then we'll tighten everything up and put everything back. All right, everything's working. No leaks. So it looks like everything is good. In hindsight, I would say if you don't want to deal with digging the old purge valve line out, then just replace the actual purge line, or the purge valve right there. Just replace this hose right here. You do that just by lifting it up and sticking it back in the hole. There's not too many special clips down there. Keep it in. But I got the whole part, so I figured might as well put it in there. It's a little bit of a headache, but so far so good. Knock on wood. Alright, good luck everybody.